Hear this word.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi. Hi, friends.
D-teck, what is so funny?
Yo, so why you have to go get dressed up for coming on live, bro?
First of all, if you don't want me to be disrespectful on this show, you know how I get. Let me tell you what I was really doing, and I stopped to come on here.
Stop.
With my presence.
Let's keep
Here
it
we
PG.
Wow, boom shot.
Period.
Let's keep it PG.
Period.
Let's keep it PG. So we were having a conversation about homosexuals, right?
Is that what they're calling them? They still call them that?
What you call them? What you call them?
I mean, we're human beings, motherfucker. Just don't call me Batiman. Batiman is the most annoying thing in the world. Because, I'm Jamaican. I'm Jamaican like Flatbush, Church Avenue, 55th Street, Linden Boulevard, Remsen Avenue D, Flatbush. So the Batiman thing always got on my nerves. Batiman thing is very annoying. Call me whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me Batiman, okay? Anti-man, Batiman, Sissy-man, all of the mans. I don't want to be none of them.
Hold on. So let me ask you, right?
Uh-huh.
He had to pick some mic for that one.
Gay, homosexuals, gay, trans, lesbian, queer, transgender.
So you represent for that.
A is for allies. Tish is an ally. Shout out to all my allies. Tish is an ally.
I am.
Things like that.
We were asking the question,
What's the I?
people...
What does the I stand for?
Yeah.
Isn't
It's
it AI?
intersexual. So that's like people who don't claim a sexuality, I believe. So it's like non-binary, non-gender conforming.
So like this.
People who can go from people who can switch their sexes with no problem.
So pretty much,
Right.
yeah.
So we were asking, do you feel like you were born gay?
Yes. Because nobody would choose a lifestyle like this. I don't think you guys understand how hard it is to walk around as a person in the rainbow community. And I think once cisgender people understand that it is an everyday battle, your life is on the line every day. Your life is on the line every day. Because somebody can hate you for just being who you are, what you are, how you feel who you are, how you're proud of what you are, and want to kill you. Not even like fight you, stab you, cut you, kill you because of that. It's not so I wouldn't wish this on my enemy.
So that's for everybody who feels like people are playing with it.
Right, because I don't think, the things that you're not born to be is you're not born to be a prostitute. You're not born to be a crackhead. You're not born to be stuff like that. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, who's going to wake up in the morning like, oh, I'm just going to suck dick. Oh, let me go suck dick. Let me go.
Remember.
Oh, sorry.
We gonna send you that bill.
D-I-C-K is not a bad word. It's not a bad word. And I'm sure you'll be fine FCC-wise. I'm sure. But what I'm saying...
Don't worry, I'm going to edit it out.
Yes. But what I'm saying to you is I think that people have this thing in their head where that gay people, lesbian people, trans people wake up and be like, oh, hey, I'm going to try this today. I knew from a very young age that I like boys. And I knew that because boys like me.
Okay.
I didn't go searching being like, oh, hey, let me be this queer feminine thing. And let me try this. You understand? To you, like to explain to you guys, like it's kind of like brought to you, and it's brought to you in many windows that people don't understand. It could be against your will, which is molestation. You get what I'm saying to you? It could be someone, family, close family, being like, oh yeah, you a sissy, you this, you gay, this what you like, this what you supposed to do, and people don't realize that. People just make it like, oh, hey, you're born this way. You're not born this way. You chose to be this way. But it's like, it's the hardest thing to choose to be. It would be the hardest thing to choose to be. I don't want to walk down Fordham Road. Let me give you a prime example of something I dealt with. I wasn't always like heavy and all that kind of stuff, So I want to say about puberty, I started getting tits. I'm like, where are these coming from? Like, why? But once I got them, it opened this window of like, oh my God, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. You know, and people don't really understand. Like, it's like I think if you have someone in your family that's gay, might be gay, you might think that they're gay, I think that you should embrace them, honestly, a little bit more. And for predatory reasons. People are out here prying on gay kids. They're prying on cis kids. They're prying on hetero kids. They are prying on kids. You get what I'm saying to you? And if they're not getting that love and that appreciation at home, it opens them to a window of like tragicness. You understand what I'm saying to you? People see the rainbows. They see the corporations behind pride. They see all of this, oh, hey, you know, the gay, the rainbow, you're trans and all this kind of stuff, but they don't understand what it takes really to be in those shoes. You know? Like, people take pictures of me on a daily basis. Kids say, what is it? Is it a boy or a girl?
Wait, Lonnie, what did you want to ask him?
Well, I want to ask how you said that that people don't wake up and say, hey, I want to do this today, but do you think that now in these times you have fake gays where people are just?
I want to ask that too. Yeah,
where people just jumping on because it's a trend, not because it's actually within them.
Do you mean like industry wise? Do you mean like hetero men wise? Because I can't see somebody faking gay. Like, you're gay, you're gay. You know, I mean, see, the thing that people don't understand also is, I totally get what you're saying. I think you're talking about like a down low culture or people who are not saying.
Anybody just to jump on the bandwagon because it's hot right now. Because that's just trendy.
It's not hot though. It's not. It's never hot to be gay.
It's more acceptable. It's more commercialized.
I feel like a girl maybe before a guy, right? Because I realize
because girls pretend to be gay all the time.
Yeah,
right.
I can see that.
I would say it, and thank you for that, Tish, because I would say in the world, I say girls fake being gay before dudes. Like, dudes is not going to fake being gay because it's going to open a window to that they're not ready for, that they're not prepared for, you know? So my thing about it also is, people don't really realize that people are entitled to their discretion, you know? Tish is a married woman. D-teck might be doing. Say it again, D.
No, continue.
Tish is a married woman. D-teck has his partner and his girlfriends and all that kind of stuff. But you don't know what's going on in their home. People have multiple. D-teck has multiple girlfriends. You know that
everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Every event that I go to, he comes with a different girlfriend, and it doesn't matter how long I've seen him. It could be 2 weeks, it could be a month, it could be a year, it could be Tish's birthday, it could be an event anywhere. I see D-teck. Who's this girl? I didn't see her last time. That kind of shit. But people have a right to their own. People have a right to their own discretion. Everything isn't for everybody.
I think more people fake being straight than fake being gay.
Yes, more people are faking being, but no, because you have, there's a line, there's a certain spectrum, because people feel like once you say, hey, I like the D and all that kind of stuff, that it's just, you just like that, you don't want girls, you're not a...
Before you continue, all right, I need you to clear that up just now. You see me with multiple girls.
Oh, he went back there.
But you don't know if
who's your girlfriend?
Now, I didn't say that you were dealing with them. See, now this is where you're going to get yourself in trouble. I just said every time I see you somewhere, it's a different one. That's what I said. So, but about the like discretion, it's a lot of people out there. It's a lot of people with anxieties. It's a lot of people with insecurities and stuff. It's a lot of things that play into being, who you want to be sexually, who you want to be in this world, and people don't really look at it like that. They just look at it like, oh, hey, you're gay. You want rainbows and you want boas and you want the parade and you're in drag and you like RuPaul. And it's like, no, it's many different spectrums to it. I know that might be hard to believe because femininity. It's about femininity. You get what I'm saying to you? It's about masculinity and femininity.
Who you think has it harder out there in society, right? Females, males, like lesbian,
blacks,
gay,
black people.
Facts.
Black people, no matter what they're doing.
Yeah. I think that if you're black and gay, it's hard.
I just feel like if you're a black man, you're a black woman, you're a black boy.
But that's like a double negative in society.
I'm just telling you, and just being black, gay, it's just another thing tacked onto it. It doesn't matter. And that's what we need to realize. It is hard out here being black. You could be black blue. You could be a light-skinned black. You could be a very, very dark black. You could be black blue eyes, black green eyes. If you're black, they don't want us to be black. If you're black and gay, they don't want you to be black and gay. If you're black and woman, they don't want you to be black and woman. It's just about being black.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. And we need to wake up and realize that shit.
One of our viewers asked, what is your take on men becoming women and partaking in women's sports? Do you think that's fair?
I mean, you're not the only outlet that asked me that. I've been on several interviews where that is a question. And my thing is, once you start taking hormones and stuff like that, your strength that you were born with is broken down. Like, not to make it sound like it's like some X-Men thing, but that's what it really is. You're not as strong as you used to be because you're taking things to feminize yourself, make yourself dainty, light. You're making yourself to be very woman-esque, woman-statue-esque, that kind of thing. I mean, it's a thing where it's like, whoever wants to play sports, let them play sports. You get what I'm saying to you? Because I've seen some girls in the WNBA, no offense, that belong in the NBA, if you ask me.
That's actually extremely funny. But do you know that the body structure of what
I know that the body structure is still there, but they are taking a form of they're taking something to make them who they feel they were born to be, and naturally that medicine. I'm listening, D.
Now they became X-Men.
Well, I mean, it really is kind of like they treat the gays and blacks like mutants. I'm sorry. I'm a comic book fan, and I've been feeling that way for a very long time. So that's something I don't disagree with. They treat us like mutants because you want to.
Are you an X-Men? Are you an X-Men?
I fall in the uncanny X-Men, actually, like the Bishops and the Storms and the Wolverines. Like, I sit in the classroom with Professor Xavier. Like, that's how much of a comic book head I am. I'm one of the leaders out of the 6. I'm the top 6 leaders. But when it comes to, like, sexuality and all that stuff, I think people need to realize that there's a fluidity there. There's a fluidity that we don't expect because society has made it. This is the man's mannerism. This is the woman's mannerism. Men are supposed to do this. Men are supposed to drive 4 trucks and come home and fuck their girls and get them pregnant and go back and push. Oh, sorry.
So what always
what you sipping on there?
Yeah.
Whatever you sipping got you loose.
Look,
this is Darnell 24/7, bro.
But I'm thinking that you have me just on the live. I keep forgetting that we're on the radio also. I'm sorry, FCC. There's other stuff you need to worry about here, like Delta and all that kind of shit.
Darnell, hold on.
Okay,
what's your question?
So there comes to be a point where you have to draw the line, right? So if people are saying like there's gays, there's lesbians, and then there's I'm not going to be categorized. I don't know what I like.
It's called. Let me help you out. It's called non-conforming.
Yes, but what I'm saying is there has to be some sort of line because then you have 40-year-old males who want to have 10-year-old girls. And it's because that's internally what they want.
What you mean?
Well, she's talking about pedophilia.
Sounds
I'm not down with that. I'm not looking for that. I'm not checking for that. I don't think the community. I think when it comes to that,
a crime identifying how you want to identify. It's a crime
it's
in
a crime
America
to play with kids, right?
Feel a child,
but
even if that's how you feel.
I understand what she's talking about.
So
She's talking about the crazy thing about it is that, you know, there's a light on, you know, I think that's just like bait, clickbait, media bait.
A lot of people will like swim and speed to that direction of like, you know, if this is a crime, because they can't identify of what that person needs to be attracted to, and it is considered a crime.
I mean, you don't need to be 40-year-old and fucking. Oh. You don't need to be 40 years. You don't need to be a 40-year-old and messing with a 10-year-old child. That is not a form of sexuality, and I don't agree. I don't agree with that. That's not a form of sexuality. That's not what someone grows up to want to do. That's not what someone is born to do. You know. And the thing about age and sex is like, you know, certain cultures in a certain light used to do those kind of things.
And still do.
Still do. It's a practice. You know, I don't know if you guys ever seen Borat, the second Borat. But no. He went to Texas or wherever he went to, and they have this ceremony where the parents are like bringing their 15-year-old, 16-year-old daughters to kind of like usher them off to the other powerful country, back of the woods men kind of thing, you know? Like, you know, it's very prevalent in the culture, you know? Now they're trying to make it acceptable. And that's not a part of the gay spectrum, though. That's not a part of it. It's a part of it in the reverse. Like I said to you earlier, where men and boys and cousins and uncles and stuff is prying on kids, you know?
Yeah.
Family members and stuff like that. It's the reverse. So when it comes to that, I mean, that's a crime. That's not right. If you're mentally fit, no matter what your sexuality is, you know that is wrong.
That's wrong.
Right. You know that's wrong, and that is a push from somewhere else to destroy what's really going on.
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, like I said, there will be no difference to say, well, a gay person to do that. Well, it's wrong when a straight person does it too.
Hello, all the dudes that be 30 years old and messing with 16-year-old girls, because you know that's a New York City thing, honey.
Right.
It's a thing all over the world, but it seemed like
I'm from Washington Heights.
You know, don't let me start on the Latinos. A quinceañera? Oh. What? Any girl that has a quinceañera as a target, please.
I don't know.
Please.
Now, that's actually a Mexican culture thing. The quinceañera.
Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and the Jamaicans too.
And what?
And the Jamaicans.
You mean the Guyanese?
Yo,
here you go.
I know. Listen, I know. Dominicans and Jamaicans are like the biggest homophobic like countries that I know of, but we're the ones that have the big.
I'm sorry. I don't know when the last time you've been to DR, but when I go to DR, it looks like Pride on June 25th.
That's what I'm getting at. Is that you know, but because the way I grew up in a Dominican household, so we, you know, it's a machismo thing. It's, you know, men,
yeah,
whatever.
All the Spanish guys are machismo,
right?
Yes.
So, but DR has they're everywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so I like the being homophobic for what when
I think I want to say homophobia. I want to say homophobia. Now, this is, you know, this is what I want to make clear about homophobia. I want to make clear that homophobia is the same hatred as the dude that's getting money in the hood and everybody hating on them. You know, it's the same kind of hate, you know, and people don't see it that way because it's like, you know, I just was listening to a story where a housewife went on a date with a 52-year-old dude or whatever, you know, and they were at a restaurant in the city. She's a popular housewife. She's the only black housewife on New York Housewives, I believe. and the dude started going into this homophobic rant. And she sat there to him, she said, but what if I was secretly a lesbian, battling what I was battling and dating you? And I was like, okay, ally, because I never thought about it like that. It's secret lesbians out here that's really like fighting to be like, okay, I want to try to be with this man, but I don't really want to be with him, but culture says I have to, and I'm in this kind of business. Like homophobia is just a hatred like any other kind of hatred, though. People hate
you for what you are, and that's
right. People hate. Let me tell you something, Tish. We all know people hate Miss D for being Miss D. People hate Tish for being the chocolate skin tone she is and being proud and putting her pum pum shorts and her thigh high Givenchy boots and managing London Hill and having Madden Row and all of that kind of stuff. People are haters.
Who hates
if you can step in a room and be who you are, people are haters.
Yep.
Right. Who hates
your cousin be hating on you. Your mother could even be hating on you. People love to hate no matter what you do sexually.
Still didn't answer my question, boy.
I couldn't hear you. It was going out.
Who hating on Thais?
Thais is a Pisces. She gonna have to take. She's too much of a sweetheart to have haters.
I knew she was a Pisces. I could feel it. My Scorpio bones.
Yes, me and Thais' birthday is a day apart from each other. We don't have haters. We don't pay attention to that.
And there's somebody in the comments that said they don't hate it, they just don't accept it. And I understand that you don't have to, and I just feel like if you don't accept being gay, just don't be gay.
Right. We understand. We don't have to. You don't have to accept it. We're not asking. I don't feel like people are shoving it down people's throats neither, because that's the conversation at hand right now. Also, is that the industry and media and everybody is trying to push this gay agenda and this gay thing, and it's like, no, these dudes is gay.
Gay.
and like talking from personal experience, let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I'm from Flatbush, Brooklyn. Give me my flowers, give me my stars, give me my medals. I grew up in Brooklyn in the 80s and the 90s. Where saying Batiman and the F word and all kind of things. You got to give it up to people.
I've heard you refer to yourself as a Batiman before on the radio.
Yes, and this is because this is how everybody else in Jamaica is going to understand. I'm Jamaican. I mean, that's the word that you call gay people when you talk patois. You don't have another word for it. Is it another nice word from the Jamaicans besides Batiman?
Before you called in, right? I was saying it to them like, so, it's over time when you learn and you know better,
right?
But from our culture in Jamaica, you don't say gay, you just say Batiman.
That's what it is. I mean, I've never. I mean,
wait a minute. Did you? Those glasses, they don't have lenses?
Nah.
No. And matter of fact, you know what? It's hot in here. So look, I have to do this because I have to switch them because I couldn't see. So they don't have lenses now. The Batiman thing is the one thing I can sit here and say about my family and everybody that I grew up with in my Jamaican side of the family. I've never, ever experienced that in my life. And I want to give a big shout out to them right now for the culture. I've never experienced none of that from my Jamaican family ever. My grandmother is a restaurateur in Brooklyn. We own a building, and she owned a restaurant in Brooklyn called Monique's Affair for 33 years. Yes, I might have grew up and went there and got that from the outskirts and the out people because Church Avenue is nothing to play with. Church Avenue in the 50s is very Bobby Shmurda, okay? It's very Bobby Shmurda, Roddy Rebel, okay? And, when it comes to family, I've never had to have a conversation or heard from my father, being like, oh, you're a Batiman, you're not my child, and all that kind of thing, Jamaican women are very hard. it's kind of the reverse with Jamaican people. And, you know, people don't really like to have that conversation. But in dancehall, it's very much a reverse. The girls in Jamaica are the tough ones, and the boys in Jamaica are the feminine ones. I'm sorry.
Okay. Look at D-teck's face. I came up with that because
That's what I want.
But no, I'm saying out of the Jamaicans, I grew up Jamaican, I grew up Haitian, I grew up very Caribbean. I'm from Brooklyn. I've never had that. I never had to have that conversation of being like, "Oh, you're about to mind, get away from us, don't come here." Nothing. You understand what I'm saying to you? I have uncles that pull out guns like, "This is my nephew. You don't talk to my nephew like that. You got a problem like that, I'm gonna put two in you, or you're leaving out of here." That kind of thing.
I have a gay uncle, right? And on some real ish, I would. If anybody ever,
right, I think we need to be in. I think we need to get into the mindset of protecting people. You know, my whole thing too is also that you don't understand what kind of dangers it's out here for kids who are gay. Like, I don't think people understand the dangers. I don't think people understand the ridicule, the homelessness, the drugs, the taken advantage of. You know, I don't think people really realize like what gay, trans, lesbian people and stuff really go through. I think that they get an image of pose and think it's voguing battles and, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, not to shed light on the baby again, but the baby, you know, because people's like, "Oh, what did he say? You know, why is it so hurtful?" I mean, it's hurtful because like almost 100 million people have died from HIV/AIDS since the 80s.
Caruso got a question for you, right?
What's the question?
So my last, you can't see it. So my last question is.
Yeah, he answered that.
Okay. About transition stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
The medicine you take. But this is what I want to say to certain people. I think when Black people started being on TV, a lot of racist white people probably said they're pushing the Black agenda, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is the same thing.
It's the same thing. But it's like you need some kind of representation, though. Right, yo, let me explain something to you.
He said that we weren't of God, so now it's the gays are not of God. So it's the same rhetoric. It's just used for a different basis.
It's used for hatred. My whole thing is like, could you imagine, you know, and not to make it like the Black civil rights experience or whatever. But it's like not seeing you in the world where you know you exist in the world. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like going like, it's like a Black girl, little young Black girl, going to Walmart and there's no dolls there of representation to her.
Yep.
Or
identify with that. I understand. Gay struggle. And right. I think that
people go back to Sodom. They go back to Sodom and Gomorrah and same-sex relationships and all that kind of stuff. But that was going on back in those times too. That's why they were writing about it.
I have a question for you, Darnell. Right?
And let me say this to the people who do the religious thing. I was just having this conversation with my aunt. You know, God is Jehovah, Yahshua. He has many names. You understand? When you call names like that, you hear what the names that I just called, you know I know about God, right? Whatever God does not want to be here will not be here. You understand? Whatever God wants to go on this earth that we wake up and be on every day, if he don't want it here, it would not be here. So when people throw the religious thing in there and all that kind of stuff, God is the Almighty God. Whatever he don't want,
people free will.
He did.
Free will, and that's why we should all respect each other's free will, because God said.
So who's to say the girls getting their eyebrows done, getting their boxes shaved, the dudes getting lineups, we're eating shrimp, we eat pork, we do all these things that they tell us not to do.
Whenever they don't agree with it.
Right. Is it all not right? Are we all not right? Are you not right? Are you not right because you're laying down with a man unmarried and having sex and stuff like that? Are you not right?
Because
Are
there's
you
a lot
not
of
right, D-teck? Because you got multiple.
Right.
married,
Multiple.
right
You hear that? Multiple. D-teck, multiple women.
D-teck, are you not right? Because you put on your suits and lie to these young girls and tell them I can put you on the radio and go to events.
I didn't even tell him that, D-teck. I don't know where he got this information.
What? Yo, they putting you on blast.
First of all,
Wazzup Radio.
first of all the females you ever see on this radio station, they're here, and they're my sisters.
Oh,
that's it.
Yes,
I
know Tish and them is your sisters, but we're talking about the girls that you come to BK Lobster with and all that kind of stuff that we do. You know.
Whoa.
Yo. Hey, you trying to button.
Whoa.
Right.
We're talking about the others. We're not talking about your sisters.
Listen.
No, I'm only look. Wait, let me give you a disclaimer. Let me save you. Because I'm a professional at what I do. Okay. You came to get the gay Oprah. You came to get the gay Oprah. You got the gay Oprah tonight. He's from Washington Heights and he's coughing. Their COVID numbers are high. Be very careful in there with him. Okay.
He's in the B room.
If you can see, I'm the only one in this room by myself.
Everybody else is safe. But no, disclaimer to all the girls that that with D-teck. D-teck is a very good guy. He doesn't show up with different girls. It's just I don't see him in that span. You know, he's not married or he's not obligated to anyone. He can date anybody he wants to. It's dating.
He's dating. He's testing the water.
He's looking for the right one. But thank you guys for bringing me on here tonight.
I have a question.
I didn't mean to curse so much.
Before you go, it's all right. Yes. A lot of editing job to do. Might let you pay for it. You think the baby should be canceled for his homophobic comment he made at Rolling Loud the other day?
See, he didn't make a homophobic rant. See, that's right. And that's the push of the media. He didn't make a homophobic rant because HIV/AIDS. This is what I said on the last outlet I was on. HIV/AIDS is not a gay disease. It's not a gay disease. It's a white disease. It's an Asian disease. It's a black disease. It's a gay disease. It's a straight disease. For people that have
unprotected sex, and some people are born.
So what I feel like what he should have said, because I come from a in reggae music, what I can't remember the name of the song, but in the song when he be like, if me have to let it go, is have to take me. When he talk about having sex with the girls unprotected and he not putting on no condoms and all that kind of stuff during that time. There's a reggae song that he's like, I can't remember the name, but when I get the name of the song, I'm going to send it to you so you can listen to and hear what he's saying about him still having unprotected sex and raw, and he don't care about HIV and AIDS and all that kind of stuff. The community that HIV/AIDS affects the most, again, is who? Blacks. And it's black women. Yep. Cis black women. So I
think that is.
And people think like, you have people who might have contracted AIDS from drugs. You might have people who contracted AIDS like from sharing needles, being raped. It's many windows to it. And what he said didn't just hurt the gay community; it hurt people all across the board. And then you're saying it to kids.
But the media,
who goes to kids?
The media is making it seem as if that it was an attack on gays from his part.
I think because he put that together, he said something about a fellatio.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you think about it, he said if you're not in the parking lot.
Right. You could just say, Darnell, because guess what? You didn't curse the whole damn show.
No, I'm not going to curse now. I just forgot. I thought I was on live. I forgot that we were on the radio. But if he, and he marginalized it to the gays once he said, if you're not sucking D in the parking lot, and then it becomes a gay disease, then it becomes a gay issue, But you know, it's an issue. You have people like Madonna, Elton John, you know, Apple, you know, people pulling his songs, and certain artists don't want to do music with him. Let me tell you something and D-teck, not to go back to the Jamaican thing, but this is another Batiman gay moment that I had in my life. And I don't know who this lady is. I don't know who this lady is, but she was a Yardie person. I was at my best friend's sister's baby shower, I believe, and we were like in a bar, you know, restaurant venue or whatever. And, you know, they had their regular Merrick Boulevard, Queens, St. Albans, 40 Project, you know, patrons. And we came in, you know, a lot of the family and friends of the Girls of the Rainbow, you know. And some of the regular patrons were upset about us being there. And you know what she said? Me no care if you don't like Batiman. Batiman rule the world. Get with it. Batiman control everything. And I said,
I thought it was the Jews.
Them too. And let me tell you something. I slept with a couple of rabbis.
All right, hang up.
Well, listen. It was a pleasure having you on the show today.
I love you, Wazzup Radio. Boom
Darnell.
shot.
Darnell.
Rabbis are the best. They pay good money. Shout out to all the rabbis.
Darnell, thank you for stopping by.
Yo, son.
Thank you for stopping love.
Another episode of the Fanjacker Radio. This will never happen again, people. I'm sorry. All right.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, before we sign off,